Now we're ready for the gear. I've got a lovely bucket scoop, so one scoop is about all I need. Now when plastering, I'm right-handed, so I will always start right to left. And when tackling the ceiling, I will go right to left to do this half, and then right to left, that half, meets in the middle. Do the edges, I will put some just on the end. That's good. A bit more just on the end. And third time, a bit more on the end there. Now I'm ready to do the first full stroke, so using the two-thirds of the trowel there, that's where the gear wants to be. 1, 2, 3. And I can see it's a bit thin here, so I'm going to add a bit more. This first coat wants to cover the artex nicely. Another scoop. Again, same again. I like to see that. I don't ever do that and just slop off. So I keep it angled. Take the trowel to the ceiling. Sit on. Back. I'm afraid there's no miracle to doing this. It really is practice makes perfect. Again, see how I did that? Took the fork to the trowel. That allows it to sit on the trowel so it's not falling on the floor. 1, 2, 3. And because this artex is a bit thick, even though I've given it a light scrape, you may need to add a bit more. Again, in the middle, right there. Don't worry about getting it super smooth at this stage. I just want to get a coat of plaster covering the whole ceiling at this point. And that's it there. Almost there. As I get near this final corner, I then sit it on the back of my trowel and squeeze it in. A bit more. Okay, just right at the back of the trowel on this one. Now what can happen is these can get curved, so to stop that, once we've got it on, we will then trowel it once this way. just takes out any possible curve all the way around. Now we're ready to do the patchwork. So patchwork, I'm going to start here. Just so I'm using the end of my trowel now. I'm pressing the bottom of my trowel tight to the wall and allowing the top of my trowel to fill the damaged area. And then as I get into this corner, reverse it. So I'll just pull it that way and scrape in the excess. And then repeat. Now the first coat is on. First thing we do, wash the tools off. There's a little bit of gear left, not loads, just a little bit. But we now need to let the first coat, this coat, tighten in, start to firm up, and that will allow us to then cover the artex without the artex pattern showing through. If we go over this too soon, the artex pattern's just going to bleed through, which is why we wash out everything and we'll mix up a fresh bag of second coat plaster at the top. The time we wait between coats varies. It's quite dependent on the temperature, but typically 15 minutes is quite standard. You might find you need to give it half an hour in the winter. In the summer, it might be ready by the time you finish. But I will be able to, you will be able to tell by touch, certainly eventually. And I will show you what to look for once it comes in. In this room today, in this temperature, I know that this is going to need at least 10 minutes. So what I tend to do, once I've cleaned out, I will set my timer for 10 minutes to make sure. My tendency is to go over it a little too soon, so that stops me from going over it too soon. It may be yours is the other way. You have a tendency to leave it too long, in which case the timer will also remind you, oh, check the wall again. Doesn't necessarily mean to do it, but it's certainly a good idea to set a timer, depending on the time of year, 5 or 10 minutes, just to remind you to check the wall to see how it's coming. Take these in. Try and keep that there, and then step down. So there's a little bit of gear left in there. I like to use empty multi-finish bags as rubbish bags as well. So I just fold over the tops, and then you've got a handy rubber bag that I'll use. Pour this water in there. I'll use that water. Give this a good clean. I always start with the outside edges of the top. Depending on how messy you are, sometimes you can get it on here. This isn't too bad. So just around the sides. Good old scrape. It actually cleans off the bucket relatively easily. And then back in. And then just try and finish bits that I missed. Nice, clean, empty bucket ready for the second coat.